Welcome to Merricks Garage. We're talking about the DIY4X dash. A very popular piece. This is the thing that most people notice and I get the most comments on. When I installed the roll cage from DIY4X, I had to pull out the old dash to make room for the A-pillars that drop down to the floor. I was under the misconception that I was going to be able to put my old dash back in, but inevitably I just started pulling more and more stuff out, including all the wiring, and it became evident that I was going to unfortunately need to buy a new dash. In addition to the great flexibility that Kurt gives you with the dash in terms of build options, vent holes, gauge placement, he also designs this as a two-piece system, making install tremendously easy. It bolts up to the existing mounting hardware for your original dash. It comes in a two-piece system, so you bolt one side in and the other side in, bolt them together and put them both in, whatever works for your situation. The only modification I had to make to this dash to get it to fit my configuration was cutting holes in the top of the dash for the A-pillar to go through. The rest, plug and play. I mentioned in my other video my love of Autometer Gauges, particularly their Pro Comp Ultralight series. I've always found them beautiful, always thought that they gave that race car look, and I was able to incorporate them into my dash. I gave Kurt all the measurements and gauges that I want. He made all the cuts for me. We discussed placement options. He was able to send me templates and ideas of exactly what I wanted, and as a result, this is what I got back. A nice feature that Kurt gives you with the dash is a removable gauge assembly. This enables you to build your harness, wire all your gauges out on your workbench, bring it to the dash, plug it in, bolt it on. I really wanted to have a lot of gauge options in my truck so I could really know what was going on with my motor. I went with a clock because, you know, I gotta know my quarter-mile times. Transmission temperature. I did a nice little thing here in the fact that I added a switch so I can jump between multiple sensors. I've got a sensor up on the transmission body and I've got a sensor down on the pan. This light underneath it, that is to indicate when my transmission cooler comes on and goes off. Oil pressure, oil temperature, my tachometer, which right now, even though we're not running, thinks we are, my GPS speedo, voltmeter, fuel gauge, and water temperature. I chose to install a vintage air system as opposed to trying to repurpose and reclaim my old unit. Vintage Air, for those of you who don't know, are a manufacturer of top-of-the-line air conditioning systems that have all the bells, whistles, and features of a new system, but will fully integrate and fit into any vehicle, pretty much any vehicle. This one was a direct fit for the 73 to 87 square bodies and worked really well with Kurt's dash. Kurt provides you with these Vert Vents, and so I chose the placement for my vents. Even have one up here with a little bit of line running to it. And then the other question that I know has come up is, will the condenser evaporator unit fit with the DIY4X dash? The answer, as you can see, is yes. It is a tight fit, about a finger's fit, but it does fit up in there. I suggest installing it before you install your dash, as I learned the hard way that you need to remove the dash to get the condenser evaporator in. But bottom line, it does fit, it blows really cold air, and it's like driving a 2012 Chevy Tahoe. I added a little bill visor to my dash. Based on the gauges and the LEDs and the brightness that I put into these things, I was getting some heads-up display bouncing off my glass. So I just cut a piece of sheet metal, stuck it in here, diamond plate to be exact. This, first cut, first time, it fit. I just have to brag about that because that never happens. Anyway, it's a piece of metal I bent. Moving down, we get to my switch complement. My main bumper light bar, my rear lights, my rock lights, a yet to be determined switch, my cruise control. Yes, I have cruise control. I haven't hooked it up yet. and a switch that I was going to use for something that didn't pan out. So I have about 5 slots open still. Other switch over here, this is the Isolator combiner switch from my dual battery setup. Really nice feature. It gives me indication of my battery system health and allows me to switch back and forth between dual batteries, single battery, or single non-combined mode. And there you have it, my DIY 4x dash. Very, very happy with this. Happy with how it came out. One of my favorite pieces of the vehicle. Thanks again for watching.